Hey guys, welcome to our weekly connection. We were just talking about how there's like just something in the air, and I am not in a good mood today, but I was just telling them that coming to these weekly connections turns my mood around. And I was just telling them I'm gonna like fake happy until I feel happy. Because sometimes that's it. That's what's needed for me. I know that's not always the case. Sometimes we need to sit in our emotions and feel them, but not today. I am going to be happy. So how's everybody's week going? Does anybody have anything specific they want to chat about? Or are you here for like some, I don't know, I'm going to ask one question at a time. I'm not going to bombard you.
No.
Does somebody have anything they need to talk about?
I brought a question. I brought a question. Oh,
it's a good day. It's a good day.
All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's a very basic question, but pretty fundamental to what we're all doing. So in the retrospect of what works best, because there's so many options to this question, 2 parts. First part, what length of time, this is about Facebook parties, what length of time do you see the best results? Do you do like a 24, 48 hour kind of hot and heavy, show the product? Is like a 7-day with a known order date at the end best? And then the second part of the question is, what vehicle seems to work best for you in terms of showing slides, going live, unboxing? I'm trying to, and maybe for everybody too, I'm trying to really get a good grasp on what works best. So when I go to a hostess to ask about a party, I can kind of give them the basic rundown of what to expect first, instead of kind of doing things on the fly, kind of feeling the mood of the party. I'd really like to have a better roadmap that I can share with the hostess first. So
I love that question. So I have tried so many different options, and last year when I ended up transitioning all of my parties into my VIP group, it made a world of difference because it gave me a set schedule, and I wasn't trying to start parties on different days, running them for maybe the same duration, but starting on different days. It really threw me off. And so when I decided that, okay, Monday is the day that the people will be let into the VIP group when they are new, they request to join like Saturday, Sunday. So I'm talking to the host at least the Thursday before, because I also send out host packets. So the Thursday before the Monday start time, I'm chatting with the host, getting her engaged and involved, and making sure that she knows what the plan is, that they have to request a packet no later than Sunday night, so that I can get it in the mail by Monday morning, so that they have it by the end of the party day. And I do something super simple. Let me actually grab that real quick. Actually, I'll come back to that. So I start the party on Monday, and in my VIP group, like every day is a certain thing. Monday is the top sellers. Tuesday is a tip. Wednesday is like choose which warmer for this space. Thursday is when I go live. And that's the day that like they get to see my face and engage and interact with me. Friday is kind of like a fun free for all. I change it up because I also want to build the community. And since they're in my VIP group, the hope is that they stay and they want to be involved and find this like a fun place to be. So Friday is just kind of a fun free for all. Saturday is usually when we are closing out the orders. So it's either Friday or Saturday. You let the host know. And sometimes if we set the timeline for Friday for the guests, but the host knows that we could extend it until Saturday, that gives some leeway, at least on the host's side, because the guests are going to take as long as you give them.
Okay.
So, and I just post like once or twice a day because it's my normal VIP group stuff. And most of my VIPs don't know that there's a party happening, because I want it to be seamlessly integrated, because this is how we do it, right? This is how the VIP group is. Every week is the same format. And what I would often do is give a prize for showing up live on that Thursday live where I talked about something. And maybe on like Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, I would do a poll in the group and say, hey, what do you want the spotlight to be this week? And if I didn't do that, I would ask the host what she wanted me to talk about, because she knows what her people want to hear, right? Or maybe she wants to know about something. So normally it's the host gets to pick, or the group gets to pick what I spotlight on Thursday night, unless there's something new that's arrived that I want to focus on. And then maybe I'll talk about Scentsy Club on Saturday or Sunday. But I'm really figuring out how to work that in more to intertwine it. Like, hey, support your host on this first party, and then let's set you up to get an auto ship for your fills, with Scentsy Club verbiage, host, So that's kind of how I do it. And I have simplified my party pack exponentially. I used to try and add so much into it, but I am being more budget conscientious this year. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to go get that now.
Awesome.
What do you have any feedback that's on recorded that we can talk about from what I said?
Yes, I've honestly never thought about incorporating it straight into the VIP group. I maybe more of the archaic way of thinking, but it's like you set up your own party page with the hostess. As kind of how I've done it in the past, and I'm just not loving that anymore. It does feel archaic, and it's really hard to come in and grasp that engagement. But in the VIP group, I've never thought about that because you already have built-in engagement from people who have that loyalty to you for a long time. So I really like that.
Yes. And that's one of the biggest things is there's people already in there.
Yeah.
And if the hosts, guests don't want to engage or interact or get involved, but maybe they're peeping in, right? They're watching what's already happening. But I also, as part of the host coaching, say, okay, I'm posting on this day, make sure you tag your people and make sure you comment so you can get engaged. And what I was doing was I was giving away 2 prizes a week. One was a weekly prize. So anytime like I had like, hey, vote on which warmer or tell me which top seller you would pick, that would count as like a tally in their name in the hat to be drawn for the prize. And so when the live is a separate prize, and it could be something simple like, hey, I'm going to send you an extra scent circle, or with your purchase, I'm going to send you X, Y, or Z, because we also want to make sure that our host gets those rewards built up. So it's incentivizing, but anybody who's in my VIP group can participate. So if her guests don't participate, then one of my VIPs is going to get the prize. Okay. And then it might be a sample of an LTO that I have or something. Okay. But what I do for the party packs, it's simple. I get the showcase brochure, I fold it in half, and then I have a sticker sheet because I have so many random stickers from the last couple of years of like things that have come back. And then most of the top seller or most of the new ones, there were some that were sold out. So I didn't have all of them. So here's some of the new ones. And then some from different lines that I had stickers of. They get that because rubbing and smelling is going to give them a really great opportunity to get the smell under their nose, right? And then I put it in this envelope. I will oftentimes also include a scent of the month wax felt sample and a brochure for the flyer for the warmer and scent of the month. So they're going to get something tangible. The host is going to get a little bit bigger packet, right? She's going to get a full catalog plus some bigger samples because she's the one who's taking the time, the energy to invite her friends in or his friends. I keep saying her because most of my hosts are women, but I have had a couple of male hosts. And it mails with a 2-ounce stamp. I keep it under 2 ounces and it mails with a 2-ounce stamp. And so that's how I've been more budget conscientious this year. And it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. So anyway, that's my little party pack. But like I said, they do have a deadline. They have to fill this out by the Sunday before they're let into the VIP group Monday so that they can get that party pack in time. Because the whole point is so they can experience this to be able to place their order.
Yeah. Love it. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Miss Ariel?
Yes.
Could you please share the link to that Canva? I love the little flyer idea. I've got the half of scents I love. One of the things that, and yeah, I have the hostess pack, but I have so struggled with what to send them, especially since we were 101 yesterday, what to send people to include with their party goers.
Yep.
So,
and especially the summer season for us in the hotter states, like we can't send big wax samples. It's unfeasible.
So I think kind of a share with the group besides this would be so helpful, even when we're training our teammates, because then we can reference them back in and say hostess pack ideas or something that is under albums, or what's the other folder. Can't remember the tabs at the top of the group page. Sorry. But it's that where you go to get the information, I think you have an area where you have PDF files or
Yes.
or
Yep.
whatever.
And
Because
it might be in there. I might have uploaded the template. But
I
if not,
haven't
I will
looked.
do that after.
Thank you. Because again, I think and like you get in a mindset, and I love this Thursday Connect because it's like resetting your mindset every Thursday, getting you kind of ready for the weekend. And by Wednesday, I'm like, why can't it be Thursday? Because I find my slump days are Tuesdays and Wednesdays because let's just face it, I don't know how everybody else is feeling, but it's a very slow month for me. And being just a year into this, it's a new experience.
Mhm.
And it's just, I look forward to this, Ariel. So thank you, because it's one way to fill my cup and just continue persevering with showing and sharing in the group. I, just like you, have moved it, but you've tweaked my thinking on how to put it into the VIP group. I was trying to do events, and they just kind of get lost finding them.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, for tonight's live, since it is the 1 year anniversary, I'm trying to do a room chat.
Oh.
Pulling everybody in. It keeps telling, and I don't know if anybody else is experiencing this in their closed groups, but every time I post something, it says get more engagement by creating an event. So I'm like, Facebook, what are you? I've had this message the whole month of May with every Thursday, because I go live every Thursday. They're telling me now to create an event or a chat room. And I'm like, well, we'll try a chat room tonight and kind of see how it goes.
Yeah. And the worst that's going to happen is that it's not going to work and you won't do it again.
True. And I've kind of forewarned them. Today's a big post day in my VIP group, just with what's coming on Monday. And how cute is that stinking smoker warmer? My husband's like, I know what I'm getting.
Right?
Yes, you do.
It's so
What is it? The smoke warmer.
the new Father's Day collection was announced.
Oh, yes, definitely. He likes, does he?
He considers it his award for a job well done. And Ariel, I'm just going to add, because you know that I'm Masonic. That is such a key phrase. I am so stinking excited about how, just to do to my story posts, because that's going to resonate with, and if you don't know what Masonry is, forget about it. But if you play on that job well done to the public and just do a tag Mason or Masonry, you're going to have a lot of people that's going to hit. I'm just throwing that out to the group as a helpful hint, because that's one of their key phrases that they love to tell each other. So
That's so fun. I love that Dean said that. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about the new collections coming out Monday, let's talk about some ways that we can leverage that. So I know Katie is really good with reels and doing things that are themed. So that's really fun. She gets her family involved a lot too. So how do you have a plan for Taz and Marvin?
I do. This one's a little bit more low key. We're Disney nerds, so when it's Disney, typically we have something to use.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, they're more elevated. But this one, I try and make it like we're talking about budget conscientious and all of that too. So if you guys remember that movie Signs that came out and I don't know, like 2000,
Night Shyamalan, right?
where they make the tin hat,
Yeah.
like out of tin foil, and it like goes up in the air. So we did that, and we have some growling like teeth leftover from Halloween. So we're just going to typically do like one of us is wearing one of them and say, if you're thinking about Looney Tunes, can you guess who's coming out based on our costumes? So this one's a little bit more makeshift, but I think the point of it always is engagement. It might not typically be the time that you're going to convert into sales, but the engagement is where it starts. And if I can
So
start
your engagement
I'll
link with
probably give you this
client?
shirt because I'm already sweating.
Oh, go ahead.
The engagement, a question about engagement.
Oopsies, hold on. Sorry. All right, Donna, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. When you're discussing engagement, do you do face to face? Are you talking about on Facebook in your own little group?
Typically on socials. So that's kind of where, like I'm very visual, so I think of it as like a lake. If socials, because it's just so vast, if you can cast a net and bring some people in through engagement by speaking and talking that way, it's really easy then to just authentically private message into a conversation about either the product that we showcased or Scentsy in general, and then kind of bringing them into the fold of the VIP group where we do a lot of our unpacking of the new collections. I typically try and on my main pages, just keep it really easy, kind of visually stunning. So they stop their scroll. They're like, is she wearing a tinfoil hat? Yes, ask me about it. So that's kind of my main goal is a stop the scroll post. But then for me, it's that engagement on the post that I know who is asking the right question that really do want to know more. And I feel like I'm not, then it is phishing, right? The bad kind of phishing where you're like, it's spammy. I try and avoid that and do more of the private messages when they're showing an interest in the product. Because not everybody is going to love everything that we come out with. And that's the best part because then you capture brand new people who like appear are in the Looney Tunes genre that there's a lot of them. I was shocked when we started coming out with Bugs and Daffy. There's a cult following for Looney Tunes. So you just gotta find them.
I have a Looney Tune collection of Pepsi Cola glasses that I have almost every character. And I was going to get the Looney Tune characters and set them with the glasses and maybe, put some things in it and try to package it
Fabulous.
that way.
Yeah, whatever you already have,
They're
whatever you're-
they're vintage too.
that's chef's kiss. Whatever is like organically causing you to be passionate or excited about something, it just comes through the screen. So if that's something you're already passionate about and can share, but then you can organically bring Scentsy into the fold, because the nice thing is too, if we're just very cognizant about staying in compliance too, it can be a world of fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I do a lot of social through private messaging. I don't well, Errol, Kate, how Katie and I feel about getting on social media.
Yeah, and it's not for everyone, but a lot of us do focus our businesses on social media. That's where we found our growth. And so you'll find that oftentimes that's what we're talking about, but we do have other options for those who don't do social media. So how I'm planning to market this is every week, like I send the weekly Nomad newsletter, every week I also send a Wicked Gazette. So it's for my customers, and it's the same kind of format that I do for the Nomad newsletter, but it's a customer newsletter, and I include all the things coming out. And if I have a jot form, I'll make sure to include that. Or if I just say, if I don't want to do a jot form that time, I'll just say, hey, text me, let me know what you want, or check the VIP group for all of the details. But I also have a lot of people who don't do social media. So I try and capture as much as I can in the newsletter to reach a broader audience, my broader customer base. And so I do make sure to consistently every week send an email. And what I try to do as well is include something about our family and about our life happening, just so they can feel that personal connection with us, because I think that's really important to feel connected to us for our customers so that they keep buying from us, right? They have that connection and they keep coming back to us versus going to whatever big box store they want to go to. It doesn't matter. They don't have a person. I mean, maybe some people have personal connections with stores.
Well,
I don't know.
I kind of do right now, and I'm having a real problem getting them to respect my humanity and my business. They're part of my boyfriend's family, and they spent almost $500 a couple months ago And I know they like some of the products, but she had the wife, who is actually my boyfriend's sister-in-law, and they haven't been married that long, and they have two other businesses that are his, and he would be, I've been around the family for a long time. I've known him my whole life, and I don't know. I cannot get her to respond. She's opened up her little shop and she's doing a lot on Facebook. I mean, a lot of stuff. I will give her credit. She's very savvy with that. But I couldn't even get her to respond to me about coming to her shop and what she had in the sizes. And, when she first opened it, it would be like my brother-in-law, anyhow, who owns the other two businesses, told her, he goes, why don't you let Dawnette set up? Because you know how we have the tiny banners that can be set up in a shop with with the warmer and your business cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I would definitely be there most of the time just because I don't want to leave my business cards out and not get their contact information. And I used to have, when I was in another company working, we had separated business cards. And on the back of it, you could tear it off and have them fill out their name and everything when they would want to be called, the best way to contact them, what they're interested in. And so I've taken that little card off of my old business card with another business and have fixed it so that if I do, I could leave it like that. But she thought she was gonna have to get a contract and all this stuff. And I'm like, no, you don't have to do that. But
I think
that's
sometimes it's explaining to people
and
because,
the husband's wanting me in there,
right.
but she's not.
And they don't know what they don't know too. So sometimes it's just saying, hey, this will cost you nothing. We don't need to have any sort of agreement. I can leave it up for a week and see how it does.
Mhm.
And just kind of lay out some simple guidelines, let them know it's not going to cost them anything. And something that you can do to collect information as well is if you want to make some super small felt samples, you can give away free samples. And then you can say, hey, I'm giving away, a free 6-pack of bars, and then enter to win. And that's how you can capture their data, because people are going to want to win, right? And so the way to do this so you're not out of pocket is to, when you have your host rewards built up, when you're going to close another party, you have, say it's at least a $500 party, right? You're going to have that $75 in credit that you can use, and you can use that toward a 6-pack. So you're not out any money, but you're able to gift somebody a free 6-pack of wax, and then you've hopefully got a new customer. Or you could even do a mini warmer and a bar of wax. There's other ways that you can finagle it. So they have a whole system too. But I think just a really important part is talking to people and helping them understand. Because oftentimes people say no because it's the fear of the unknown. And that's okay, as long as we know how we can communicate with them and let them know, essentially what it is.
Communicating, and they are having some really serious marital issues. And
well, then maybe this is an instance where you just kind of drop that one, but find another local business who might be willing.
I do have another one ready for me.
Awesome. And who's to say that you have to stop at one?
Oh, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because we have a lot of local businesses up in the area where where my kids went to school, and we lived in that community, and I'm getting orders from those people.
Wonderful.
I've with Katie and her involvement where she was a cheerleader, she was very well known here. She was one of the first little tiny tykes that went to a national cheerleading competition. So the home health care nurse comes in here the other day, and I'm almost finished with that. They're about to release me, thank heavens. And the first thing she does starts talking about cheerleading. And I thought, oh my goodness, somebody knows what Katie and I are doing. So I called Katie, my daughter, if everybody wants to know. She's my upline. And at any rate, I said, one of the old cheerleader friends messaged me and said she saw your post. And she goes, really? And she goes, I'm really trying not to do that. And I said, well, it's now everywhere in the community. I mean, we live in such a small town, and I can't go out anywhere without my kids knowing where I've been, what I've done before I even get back to my front door because of cell phones and social media. So I really try to keep a low profile because of my son's fiance comes from a political family in our state. And so I try to keep a low profile because I don't want to cause any disruptions there. But I don't know. I don't understand how people don't acknowledge other people. I think it's unprofessional of her. I've offered to get, I'm like, do you have this size? I really like that dress that you posted and I want to come up. No response.
Yeah, and I think when we experience encounters like that, it really helps us as small business owners understand how we as a customer want to be treated, and then we can put that into our toolbox, right? We have all these tools. We put it into our customer service toolboxes to how not to treat people or how to proceed forward treating people because we had a certain experience. We're going to let that impact and influence how we treat our customers. So it's as much as it stinks that she is not responsive to you as the potential customer. I think you can use this and help shift your focus on how to be a better consultant for my customers. And then I know you said you talked about your small town. How cool would that be if you could be their Scentsy go-to, right? They know they can come to you for their Scentsy needs. And you could, even with wanting to keep a lower profile, you could be their Scentsy gal. Just by
Oh,
them knowing that you're going to take care of them because you are excellent at customer service and they know they can count on you. So I think there's some really good nuggets there that we can take and go forward with.
I did some cash and go Mother's Day gifts with people, and the word is out. It's out that we're doing this,
Mhm.
but we're doing it to have fun. I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's just something fun for Katie and I to do, and I know I wear her completely out sometimes.
I think that's what moms are supposed to do sometimes,
But
But I don't.
you are great, and I don't mean to take up most of the time, but
Oh,
I
Donette, you're totally fine. You are part of this tribe, and this is for you too. So don't feel like you're taking too much time. But I do hope that you think that I hope that you know that having fun, even if you're not wanting to do this to make that, that full-time income, you're having fun. You can still provide that incredible customer experience and have fun and be the known Scentsy gal. You don't have to make this a big explosion, although the potential is incredible. You can create this business however you want. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things.
well, I did do private messaging for my launch party to
Good.
a lot of people, and I did really, really well. But um, everybody is, I am not having any difficulty selling these products.
Wonderful.
Not at all. And I've earned enough cash on my orders that I've had extra product here that I do cash and go when you know, but I'm really concerned about planning out for the rest of the year. I mean, fall is going to be here before we know it. We have all these graduates, and I'm thinking about buying this really simple cloth laundry basket
Mhm.
and putting in the laundry products
Mhm.
to sell to the college students right before, they're sending me cards, I'm giving gifts. But when they go back to college, I'm gonna see if their parents, and oh my goodness, there you are. Because when Katie first went to college, we could send packages through the school. So I would want to do it before they left
Mhm.
so that they could take it, and then their parents aren't having to get all that stuff together, like, fuzz busters that you can get at the Dollar Tree and stick in there, and the sachet holders, but put some of the laundry and cleaning products and wall diffusers and the Scentsy to go. Oh, I love
I was going to suggest these because college students have laptops or computers, and these are the perfect options for stinky dorm rooms. And then they don't have to worry about taking up the limited outlet space. These are
Mhm.
great grad gifts as well. So
Yeah.
I like that idea. I would recommend not investing too heavily, but maybe just in a couple of displays and say you can pre-order to have ready to send off with your college student by August. And so get maybe just a couple of bundles of things you have on hand of just pre-order your send-off kit today. That way you're not going to be stuck with a bunch of stock that you may or may not be able to move, which, ideally you will. You said you've had a lot of success. However, I don't want you to feel like you have to invest a ton of money when you can just set up one or two bundles and have it ready to go. Yeah. As just
That's
like a pre-order.
Yeah, so I'm not like, I have a friend that has a shop and she's put so much. I don't know how she'll ever move all her product.
No.
I don't want to have overhead because
Right. That's not what this business is about.
if I'm gonna do this, I want to do it at least to make money, a little bit of money. I don't want to go in the hole.
Yep.
And that's what I like about this company. I love the fact that I can do these online hosting parties and I don't have to deliver. I just have to send a thank you card and follow up, and that's really, and I like it because that'll keep track of our tax information that we're going to need to have later on because I don't like writing out these little receipts and handling cash. I'm not going to go to the bank every other day with this.
Right.
The simpler it is, and that's just the way everything is operating anymore too, or online sales. I mean, it's really hot to do that right now, but I know you guys think I have this slang and it is really bad West Virginia accent. So anyhow, I didn't want to take up time. Also, another thing I wanted to ask about, do you guys run any specials around Black Friday and Cyber Monday?
So Sensi does not usually do sales like that, but oftentimes consultants will run their own specials. And I think one of my favorite things to utilize is the bundle and save options to make it feel as though they are getting this slam and deal.
Mhm.
And you're just utilizing the bundles that we already provide in the catalog. So you're not out any money.
Right, because I can always use those items. Now, what about the fall collections, like for Halloween and for Christmas and things like that? How do you all plan or know what's coming up ahead of time because I need to plan out the rest of my year.
Got it. So the normal timeline of things is the transition month is July. That means usually things are 10% off that are transitioning out before our fall and winter collection launches in about August.
Okay.
And then September 1st is usually when the harvest collection launches, which is going to be any fall or Halloween items. And then
Well,
October 1st, what's that? That was
September.
September 1st. Yep. And then October 1st is usually when the winter and holiday collections launch.
Right.
And then in between, as we've seen, there's going to be other limited time offerings sprinkled throughout. So I don't know how much they're going to keep to the harvest collections and the holiday collections versus they're going to have those collections and then sprinkle some more. So time will tell on that, but just expect there to be at least probably 2 LTO launches a month, I would say, at least.
Okay. I do want to, I need to start getting into that because that's where it seems like you get the most money for these little kids. I mean, my great niece and nephews are like loving everything. I mean, they love all of their Scentsy buddies, and so, and they love smelling the wax out. I mean,
Awesome.
if I go somewhere, I have my testers with me at all times.
Love
And my little great niece that's almost 2 loves to play with them and smell them. So
Yep.
she draws in a lot of business for me when I'm at the other 2 soccer games or dance class. I go with them and then I take my Scentsy and let Gianna do the work.
That's so fun. I love that.
Yeah, so
Well,
I was
so
just,
much for sharing, Donette.
I'm gonna be quiet now because I think I've taken up too much time, and I apologize to the others on here.
Oh, there's no need to apologize. Everybody here, we are here for everyone, is what I'm trying to say. And if you have any other questions while somebody else is chatting too, you guys can also drop it in the chat and we'll make sure to get around to that. Edie, I think I saw your hand go up a minute ago. Oh no, okay. I asked to unmute you. Did it work? You have to unmute.
I had to click the button. I'm like,
I loved hearing you last week. You had some great ideas.
well, and Donna, I was just going to add one of the things that, and Ariel's awesome. She's kind of like the person, she holds up the umbrella and we all get to not get rained on. And she has put me in a couple of, I don't know how do you say it, Ariel? Training groups, idea groups?
Yeah, probably training groups put on by other superstar directors.
Superstar directors. And one of the things that in one of them, because I'm not great at, well, I'm not great yet. We'll do the Scentsy thing. I'm not great yet with Instagram's very, very new to me. So I'm in one group and she has host speakers and one of the other SDs made the suggestion of when you do bundles, just like Ariel said and I don't have pods. That's why I was looking around. I don't have pods with me right now because Ariel showed you the mini fan diffuser, which I haven't found anybody that doesn't love that. But they were saying when you're trying to do your little bags for if it's the laundry line or whatever, to somehow make sure it's really an authentic photo, make sure that you're holding something in that photo. But what I also found intriguing is that you don't start, the suggestion was made, and I'm just playing around with it because yes, I'm trying to see how do I get people engaged? How do I keep them engaged? But they were saying that don't start out like I've got Looney Tunes over here. So I could grab Bugs and say, guess who's joining the squad? But that's like an in-your-face sell, but is to do something like take a picture of you finding you're sitting with your tablet or your laptop watching a Looney Tunes, it's the power of suggestion, so that like with someone graduate, and then you lead into with other photos of the product. So like if I go, look, this is great and it changes colors, who cares? But if I'm like, oh, I'm working in my day, if I show myself working and kind of do a, this room still type of facial expression, and then my second picture includes, I've got a solution, you're kind of doing, again, what Ariel tries to, and Heidi, to give both of you, to kind of do this sell lead in to where you're not being spammy, but you're just creating a solution for what their problem is. And I had not until this week, I feel like I'm in some time warp zone. I had not until this week kind of went, why wasn't I smart thinking that way? Because and it was simply said, in this day and age, we save our memories through pictures.
Yes.
And so it's just kind of tweaked my thinking, especially, just watching the up and downs of business. It's kind of tweaked my feelings to getting them engaged. It's just like Katie, thank you for that cute idea of the foil. Now, if I could get my husband to buy in on it, this will be really fun to do as a post.
I bet he will.
But it's doing things that just are a little bit different, so that when you do post, the people are like, oh, I mean, all I know is these are all my husband's.
Oh, they're cute.
And because he is Disney, he's Looney Tunes. And he is so sticking excited about Taz. And I'm like, but you do not get Marvin. Marvin is mine. He has been my buddy through all of this. I love his little quotes. I can't recall any of them right now, but it's getting creative. And I think for me, that's the hardest part, because going from a private person that when I started, Ariel was so sweet. She said, so what's holding you back? And I'll tell you what's holding me back. It was all the crapola on Facebook and how negative people were doing. And she says, I've got a solution for that. You can be a safe haven, a safe place. But that whole experience for the last 2 years on Facebook, I have a rough time sharing, and I still do. And I just have to face that fear and do it anyway. And if they like it, I don't care. At least I tried, and that's what I'm holding on to. I tried something.
Yeah, it's funny, Edie. So I have a personal connection with Marvin the Martian as well, because when I was honored Queen of Bethel 7, Marvin and the Little Mermaid were my mascots. And so that's what I chose. I know some of you may not know what that even meant, but I was in an organization for girls growing up called Job's Daughters. That's actually how I know Edie. She and her husband are involved in the adult organizations. And so I was able to meet them growing up. So that's how Edie and I know each other. But when I was in charge of one of the smaller groups, I got to choose my mascot, my theme, all of the things. And so Marvin the Martian and Little Mermaid were my mascots. So anyway, that's a little story for that.
Side note, Ariel, so with Taz coming out, and do you remember Jim Wadley?
Yeah.
So in the adult group for the ladies and the gentlemen that we go to meetings together with, he chose Taz and I chose a koala bear. Look at what's on our website. I told Steve last night, and thank you for sharing that little snippet from Lacey. My VIP group was totally confused by that because I posted it late at night.
Oh my, I do that too.
And I got a couple private messages, and it's like, Edie, is this Cincy? It's like, yes, there's no place to love me. And I had one that is dead set. She's like, Edie, that's Pumbaa. And I'm like, Pumbaa's out there. You're not coming twice. We'd love him to be released twice. But it's just, again, it's engagement with your customers. And I always try, if they say something in a group. I've been experimenting this month with, yes, starting the conversation on the group, but I'm also using Messenger just to reach out and say, how stinking cute is that? Who do you know that really likes this? Just because I'm trying to get them to think outside of their homes.
Cool.
Yeah, I always say referrals are welcome.
Well, and that's one of the best things. I had a very, my business go-to person is my nail tech, and it's simply because I love the body line. She has been a long time Scentsy fan of the waxes, and once I just even took in the soap, she was like, this is really super cool. We've been battling solving the problem of perm solution because it makes both of us just nauseous smelling it. We know people have to do that because everybody wants positive self-image. And speaking of that, yesterday, because my mystery crate this month included the mini diffuser. Am I calling it
the lighted one? I love it.
And she was so I dropped a mystery box off to one of my clients that was getting, we have again, that connection you get. Somebody said, I love the soap. She gave him a business card. And all of a sudden I have a customer that's moved from Syracuse up north down here. And she does have her consultant up there, but she's like, God, I just hate shipping. And I'm like, I'll honor that. You can, stuff and do your parties through her. But if you're like needing something and you want to drop off, free shipping is always an option. When I'm at that mark, I'd love to offer that to you. But she's wax and warmers, and this is a long story and I apologize. So I took the box in yesterday. I didn't have it in any polymer wrap. I had it so it was very personalized. And Kara looked at me and she said, why am I not seeing your post? Well, she's having phone issues. She goes, that was so stinking personalized that I can't believe it. And what is that little thing you gave her? I want one. And I pulled it out of my purse because yesterday I had made the decision, because we're supposed to give, that I was getting my nails done the minute I texted Ariel and said, let's do this. And so I said, and guess who's the winner of the Let's Do This encouragement prize for today? Because I was just going to randomly pick someone I knew it would be her, so I didn't have to go into a lot of detail with the business card and the catalog. But she was like, she by the end of our thing said, and she's a pumpkin girl, she goes, I really like, I gave her Very Blessed. And she goes, I really like this fragrance because I'm trying to pop her out of her, I only do pumpkin.
I've got one.
But it's doing those little tweaks and remembering that we're giving, because she messaged me last night and said, do these work in the car? And I said, my only disclaimer is to not keep them in the car if you're gonna go to the grocery store and be there a couple hours, because I can't guarantee how the plastic will all hold up in the degrees of heat. She was already thinking of doing that just as a little gift. She says it was and she basically said, Scentsy is so expensive, but this is just like a little cute birthday gift to say, hey, here you go. And she's just been wonderful with those little bit of ideas, but it's just trying to be creative in how we get it to promote, because now it's sitting on the corner of her desk, and she says, this is going to start conversations. And I said, yes, it is. So
you got your business cards there.
Yeah, well, and she has a whole stack, and again, it's the trade-off. Her phone wasn't working. The tissue paper inspired my nail colors. She's like, I'm giving you that tissue paper. And I'm like, great. But we do that exchange because let's face it, she looked at me and she said, we're going to have to piggyback on each other during these times. We're just going to have to piggyback. And I was like, yes, we are. And so we're trying to build a network of different small businesses that we can extend a circle besides just the two of us, because it's going to be word of mouth and experience, and I can solve your problem. And the more I feel I do that as a consultant, not just work on the Cincy problems, but God, I can't find a great nail tech. Well, hey, here's a business card. She's
Right.
always booked, but in St. George, our snowbirds are leaving. So guess what? You could sneak in and get one of those spots in the summer. And who knows who's going to stay and go by the time they come back in October. It's being creative, and I love hearing everybody's ideas, because I sit here in my little box in my office thinking I'm not doing it right. And I'm actually doing some of the similar things that all of you are doing here, which makes it just builds that confidence. Again, we need to get more people coming on Thursdays, Ariel.
I know there are a lot of people who work, so that does make it tough, but they're catching the replays, and that's super important too, because I know that so many people are getting nuggets from what we talk about. So I love that. And that's that brain share, the big brain, it's not a big brain think. Anyway, sharing ideas really sparks things. And oftentimes when we sit alone and we don't connect with other human beings and other business owners, our brain likes to be a total a-hole to us, right? It's going to tell us that we are awful, that we're not doing it right, that we're not worthy, we're not enough. And your brain is a liar. Your brain is going to tell you the absolute worst things, because that's easy, right? So coming to these should, I hope, help build you up and give you ideas and keep you motivated. But also when you're not with us, when you're not able to make the lives, when you're in your room or your office and you're thinking, man, this isn't going well, try and shift that perspective. Instead of going down the rabbit hole, instead of letting your brain take the lead and say, well, I guess it's not worth it, I'm not good enough, and then going down that road, right? Go down the road of, you know what, that kind of sucked, it wasn't great, how can I fix it and move forward? Try and find that way forward. And did you guys get a chance to watch that video I shared the other day, Jennifer Anderson, when she talks about the dip? I know Edie did. You gave some feedback, and that was phenomenal. But I know Candy also posted it in the collective group. But it is incredible. Jennifer is one of my favorite people. When she speaks, she just has a lot of wisdom to share. And she's very eloquent with her words, and she gets the point across. But she has been with Cincy for over 12 years. And so she's seen the different dips and the swells. And so she talks a lot about that in the video. So I'll make sure to share that link again. But it's a really awesome perspective as to, okay, yeah, we might be going into a dip. It might seem like it's not, we're not riding that hyper growth high anymore. So naturally it's going to be like this, but we can't compare our high to our low. We have to compare previous dips to each other and previous peaks or swells to each other. And I think that's really important. But if you're new, maybe this is your first opportunity to see either. And so you have to keep going so that you do have that comparison. So don't give up, dig in, be consistent. We've talked about it. Do that 5x5 checklist. Do the things that you can with your business, stay consistent, and you will reap the rewards. You will see the benefits the next time we come up that hill. So please don't give up. Please don't leave us. And if your brain starts being an a-hole, just come to us and we'll help tell you your brain's wrong.
Well, Ariel, and the other takeaway from that, and I love that she put it towards the end, was remembering your why.
Yeah.
Digging deep. As I said in the beginning, Ariel said, what's holding you back? Part of it was the mess on social media that we've all been seeing. And I wanted to create a safe place, some place where my friends could have their friends and get a little inspiration. Yes, it's a lot of Cincy, but I'm also trying to be more authentic with my posts and doing the here's the picture. I'm not trying to sell you the Be Kind warmer, but giving him some of my thoughts on how just remembering the phrase boosts my mood, and kind of letting him know this is a little reminder, because it was one of my first, well, it was one of the warmers that I snagged from Ariel on a special, just because it was sold out, and I was bummed as a customer. And it's remembering that why has got to be so important, and it's just it's part of life. I love the post. I think you did it. It might have been someone else. When you get a flat tire, you're going to go poke the other 3. So you have 4 flat tires. You know, it's kind of that philosophy. I mean, yeah, you can get as angry as you want, but it all that anger does is feed that mindset that Ariel talks about, and you're letting that. Am I remembering Priscilla? You're letting Priscilla.
No,
What's her?
So Katie's hair is Patricia, right? No, Patrice is my negative mindset.
Patrice.
Patrice.
You're letting Patrice win.
It took
And
me a second because I was like, no, what do I call her? I haven't spoken to her in a while because she's been pretty calm. She hasn't come at me lately. So, but yeah, Patrice.
But I have to laugh because I'm also a WW coach, and just by getting that little nugget from this place, all my little members there are like, I need to name it. And I said, yeah, if you name that negative thought and let her have or him have all those personalities, then she can try that all she wants to steal the unique you and make you not happy. And it just really, this was like a month ago. It's just so funny because they'll walk up and they'll say, oh, what was the one guy calls him Drag Down, is his little shoulder buddy. And he's like, Drag Down has been working today. And it's just a different way to connect with people and let them know without saying, you know what, like Ariel started, I'm having a really bad mood today. I don't know where my head is, but it's just a bad mood. And he just points and says, no, that's your mood. It's not mine right now. So he's really done. And this is a gentleman that's had a negative mind shift with me forever. And he's really turning the corner and becoming positive. So thank you for that little nugget that I added somewhere else.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that, because so much of what we learn for our self-development is applicable in so many areas of our lives. I love all of these little analogies, because it might not click for you now. Maybe it'll click for a team member. Maybe it'll click for a friend or your kid or your spouse. Or maybe it'll click for you later. But having all of these tools in our toolbox is really important to be able to just pull them out when we need them and use them, and then put them back when we don't. So guys, it is at the top of the hour. Thank you so much for joining us. My mood is exponentially better. I appreciate you guys and your time and your dedication to you. So thank you for your time, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.